Good morning, listeners. I hope I find you well on this Thursday. People who know me know that Thursday is my favorite day of the week because it is nearest Friday and furthest from Mondays. For those of you who haven't thought about that, I hope that brightens your Thursday. I am going to talk to you about self-care for the next 2 weeks. So lean in and let us chat about how you care for yourself. Now, I first of all want to make the distinction that self-care is not going for a facial or a massage or guys going to play golf for the day or whatever it is. That's a treat. That is a bonus. That is a reward, perhaps for something that you've achieved or whatever. Or you just feel like you need a bit of pampering. That is not self-care. Let me explain. If I say to you, I care very well for my pet, immediately we conjure up ideas of my pet gets love, it gets fed regularly, it gets good quality food, its emotional and physical needs are looked after daily, not once a month, not once a year, not every now and then, daily. That is care, looked after. So when I say self-care, how do you look after yourself? How do you care for yourself on a daily basis? And that's where we fall down, is that we think, well, I had a lovely facial or a massage, or I went and had lunch and a movie with my friends, and that was my self-care. No. That was a treat. It was a bonus. That is not self-care. What do we do on a daily basis to make our happiness a priority, which, by the way, is one of the elements of self-care? So let's first start by the people we spend time with. We need to spend time with people who lift and don't lean. People who you enjoy being with, people who inspire you, people who love and appreciate you, people who make you feel alive, people who push you to improve yourself intellectually, health-wise, critical thinking-wise, and who see your potential and can say, you know, Lee, you can do so much more, don't settle. You have this gift and this talent and this ability. Don't waste it. Please go and pursue that. So people who embrace who you are, but also see your potential and encourage you in positive ways to go after that. Because the converse, the other side of the coin, is people who break us down, people who are negative, people who make you feel that you're not good enough, that you are failing, or that you should, well, that's the hand you were dealt. Best plan, you suck it up and just lean into it. That is not in your best interest. And that spending time with people who make you feel like that is not self-care. Because remember, we have a holistic approach. If your mind is not healthy, neither is your body and your environment, and vice versa. Our environment affects us. So if you are spending time with people who only see the potholes and never see the blue sky, change the company you keep. Listeners, you know there's the expression that says you are the average of the 5 people you associate with most. So if you look at the 5 people in your life you associate with most, how do they make you feel? What do they bring out in you? The best, the laughing, the joy, the encouragement, the optimism, the ambition? Or is it, life sucks, my life sucks, I'm never going to be any more than what I am, and, all in all, the place is falling to pieces, my life is barely hanging on by a thread, and I just need to make peace with that? Ask yourself that question, because that is crucial to self-care. The things and the people you allow you to influence you on a daily basis. The next one I want to touch on is face your problems head on. Don't let your problems define you, but it's how you respond and how you recover from them. Life is complicated. Life is not designed for our convenience. We all have issues, and from time to time, we can have pretty serious issues or challenges in our life. Now, you can lie down and say, woe is me, I'm defeated, and that will be the way you see yourself and your life. Or you can say, you know what, that did not work out, or I'm facing this issue, this problem, this challenge. I am going to get all the support and all the help I can to face this and conquer it. If it means one little step at a time, then that's how it's going to be approached. But I'm not going to let this get the better of me. And listeners, I've always said in my own life and to my clients that everybody in every situation is added to you, not taken away from you. The terrible relationship you were in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, last month, added to your life. What did it add? Knowledge about what you're prepared to put up with. Knowledge about what you're prepared to tolerate. Knowledge about who you're going to let into your life, into your inner circle next time. Knowledge about how you have survived, how you have become stronger, and how you've grown. So don't ever look at anything and say, that is responsible for taking X, Y, and Z from me and out of my life. Look at what it's added. And remember, if something falls away, it makes space for something new. Do what you can. Be determined. As I said, take baby steps if you must. But don't make excuses. Don't blame others. And don't have the woe is me, life is unfair, and this is all a grand plot against me. Because it is not. And it's only when you decide to take control of your thinking and thereby how you feel and how you act, that you're in charge. Face your problems head on. Be honest with yourself and with everyone else. Listeners, you know what's right and what's wrong. Be honest about it. You know your weaknesses and your strengths. Be honest about it. Don't put your hand up for something that you know you're not particularly good at. Say, rather, I'm not good at this, but I'd like to become a lot better. And be accountable. When you are honest with yourself about a situation that's not working, a relationship that's not working, whatever it is, it builds trust. It builds firstly your confidence, because you can now admit and say, you know what, I messed up. I messed up monumentally. Now I must work out, how am I going to fix this? I know it's the right thing to do, and I'm going to do that. Not only, listeners, does it build your confidence that radiates from your every pore and your eyes when you're confident, but people trust you because they know that if Lee messed up, she's going to own up too. And she's going to admit and say, you know what, guys, or my partner, I messed up, I did wrong, I am sorry, and I'm going to make it better. Because that is my responsibility. First of all, to me, it is self-care. Then to the other person or people involved. Don't let your ego dictate your behavior, because the ego is that part of us that says, I'm never wrong. I don't want to lose. I can't admit I'm wrong. I can't admit I'm guilty of doing it, because then I look stupid, I look bad, and I can't do that. No, you don't. You build trust and you build confidence. People trust you, they are confident in you, and you have confidence and trust in yourself. And as I've said on previous programs, the way you see yourself, you communicate to people around you in a million subtle ways. So once you can say, sorry, I'm putting my hand up to this, I own it, I wear it, I was wrong, I messed up. People trust you, and you trust yourself in your ability to handle difficult or awkward situation with your head held high. So Don't let the ego tell you different. The last one for today I want to touch on is make your own happiness a priority. Now, thereby, I don't mean in a selfish, self-centered, egotistical way. There's that word sneaking in again, ego. But in a way that you communicate to yourself, firstly, and then to others. What I need is important. You learn, listeners, very often when we were children and you had friends visiting, or the family or the cousins came to visit, and you were playing with something and another little one wanted your toy, mom or dad would say, give it to Susie or to Peter, let them play with it, don't be selfish. And you had to very reluctantly sacrifice the thing you were enjoying to someone else. And the message you got was, my needs aren't important. My happiness is not important. What I want is not important. I must always put other people first. I want to contradict that. I want to challenge you to put your own happiness first. Because what your mom could have said is to Susie or Peter, you know what? Lee is playing with this. Let's give her another 10 minutes and then you can have it. Lee, play with this for 10 minutes and then please share with Peter or Susie or whatever. So your needs are acknowledged, but not to the point where nothing and no one else matters and they can never have it no matter what. Because that is also not a healthy way and leads to all sorts of other problems. So again, it goes back to my previous point about being honest. When you express your needs and wants in a confident way, in an assertive way, and remember, being assertive is not being aggressive. It is getting what I need without trampling on the rights of others. So if you can express your needs in an assertive way, then you value yourself. And when you value yourself, other people value you. Because if you don't value yourself, if you don't take yourself seriously, neither will anyone else. Listeners, look around you. Look around you. If you are a people's pleaser, no one bothers about what you want or need, do they? If you ask in a very apologetic, I almost want to say, sniveling way for what you want, you know, like Oliver back in that movie, please sir, may I have some more food? The answer is no, you may not. Now go away. And that is what we portray unless we put our own needs first and we say, this is what I need to be the best person I can be. So whether it's your kids who take advantage of you and don't take yourself seriously, if they say, Mom, can you fetch me from Susie's house this afternoon at 3, and you say, no, I've got a hairdresser's appointment, and then, you know, it comes to, well, my needs don't matter, and I suppose all that matters, and then you say, all right, I'll cancel the hairdresser, never mind. Nonsense. They can go and play at Susie's house or Peter's house or do whatever. I'm not talking about school commitments. I take it we all have the common sense to make our appointments within the hours where kids don't need us for serious commitments. But that immediately tells them they can manipulate you, they can make you feel that your needs don't matter, and theirs come first anytime and all of the time. Colleagues who are always asking you to pick up the slack, and you so far have never said no. You don't value yourself, you don't value your time, you don't prioritize your priorities. So what I need to do today is not as important as what you want me to do for you. Your partner, friends, family, whoever is saying, you know, Lee will do this, and just assume I will do it because after all, Lee never says no. Lee's always available. Lee will drop everything and anything. Just ask her, just tell her you need her to do it, and you'll be so appreciative. They're not really. They just know you haven't got the guts to say no. So listeners, we're going to come back to this next week. So if you have any questions or queries or anything you're curious about, please send it in. We would love to chat with you about what's important to you. But just to recap, so start spending time with the right people. Face your problems head on. Avoiding them doesn't make them go away. They sit there and they have babies and they grow bigger, and you feel bad. You've missed an opportunity to build confidence and trust because you didn't face a problem head on. Be honest with yourself and everyone else. So if someone says to you, Lee, can you babysit for me this evening? Then say, you know what? Normally I wouldn't mind, but this evening I have got something else planned. So I hope you can make another plan. And that way you have not said, you haven't been unkind about it, but you've put your needs and your plans first. And lastly, make your happiness a priority. Decide what you need to be happy and fulfilled so that you can be the best mom, the best wife, the best partner, the best sister, best friend, the best colleague, all those hats that we wear, that you can be the best at them because you're giving from a full cup. You're not trying to give from an empty cup. So start practicing those little things and see how it changes yourself, your self-respect, your self-view, and how that impacts on everyone and everything around you in a positive way. As I say, listeners, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this. We'll continue this chat next week, and let's start making 2025 a year of self-care and growth. And as I say, as much as it sounds selfish, it is not. Everyone will benefit from you being the best, happiest, most content, fulfilled version of yourself.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.